The smell of burning paper filled my parents' living room. My daughter Sarah's face went pale as she stared at the fireplace, where orange flames consumed the contract she'd been showing the family moments ago. Oops, my 12-year-old niece Emma said, smirking. Daddy says you don't deserve success anyway. People like you should stay in their place. I kept my expression neutral. Emma, what did you just burn? That stupid paper you were bragging about. Your little business deal or whatever. My brother Marcus emerged from the kitchen, laughing instead of reprimanding his daughter. It was just paperwork. Print another copy. Emma's just being a kid. That was the original contract, Sarah whispered. The signed original for the Henderson account. $1.2 million. My mother looked up from her knitting. You shouldn't have been waving it around. Marcus is right, just print another one. It had original signatures, I said quietly. Notarized. Marcus waved his hand dismissively. So get them to sign again. What's the big deal? You're always so dramatic about your little consulting business. It's not like you're running a real company. My father nodded. You've gotten awfully high and mighty about this side hustle. Making copies isn't difficult. I looked at Sarah, whose eyes filled with tears. She'd worked 3 months on the Henderson proposal. This was her first major client acquisition since joining my firm. Emma, I said calmly, do you understand what you destroyed? He shrugged. Daddy says you act like you're better than everyone. He says someone needs to bring you back to reality. Marcus put his arm around his daughter. Don't interrogate my kid. You brought work documents to a family dinner. That's on you. My sister-in-law Jennifer walked in. What's the commotion? Emma burned Lisa's work papers, my mother explained. Now Lisa is making a scene. Jennifer shrugged. Kids will be kids. Marcus laughed. $1 million? Please. If you had $1 million deals, you wouldn't be driving that 10-year-old Honda. You'd be in a Mercedes. The Honda runs fine, I said. Because you can't afford anything better, Jennifer added. You've always exaggerated your accomplishments. Remember when you said you were consulting for that tech startup? You were just doing their bookkeeping. I was their financial consultant, I corrected. They went public 2 years later. Sure they did, Marcus said. Just like this $1 million contract that conveniently got burned before anyone could verify it was real. My father set down his newspaper. Your brother has a point. You've always been a dreamer. There's nothing wrong with running a small business, but pretending it's more than it is makes you look foolish. I stood up. I need to make some phone calls. Sarah, let's go. Running away? Marcus called. Can't handle reality? Emma giggled. Bye, Aunt Lisa. Sorry about your fake contract. In the car, Sarah broke down. Mom, that was months of work. The original contract is gone. Mr. Henderson's lawyers won't go through that process again. I pulled out my phone. Give me a moment, sweetheart. The first call was to my banker, David Morrison. Lisa, good evening. David, freeze all credit lines for Marcus Thompson and Jennifer Thompson. Effective immediately. May I ask the reason? Personal matter. Family conflict. Understood. Anything else? Pull the report on their mortgage. I want to review the terms. I'll send it within the hour. The second call was to Richard Hayes, chairman at Continental Savings and Loan. Lisa, what's the emergency? Richard, the Thompson mortgage account from the First National acquisition. I want a full review and paperwork to call the loan. That's significant. What prompted this? Family matter. They need to understand their financial situation. I'll have legal prepare the documents by morning. Sarah stared at me. Mom, what did you just do? Made sure your hard work doesn't go unrecognized. We drove home in silence. Sarah kept glancing at me, questions clearly forming in her mind, but she didn't ask them. Smart girl. She knew I'd explain when the time was right. The next morning at 6, Marcus called. What did you do? Jennifer's cards are frozen. All of them. She's at the grocery store and her card was declined. Good morning, Marcus. Fix this. No. Jennifer is humiliated. I'm sure she'll figure something out. This is because Emma burned your paper? You're insane. I didn't freeze anything. The bank made its decision based on account activity. You're going to regret this. I'm calling Dad. Our lawyer. Good luck with your calls. 20 minutes later, my mother called. Lisa, Marcus says you froze their credit. That can't be true. The bank made a business decision, Mom. This is out of proportion. She's a child. Emma destroyed a legally binding contract worth over $1 million. That's serious financial damage. You're punishing Marcus and Jennifer for something a child did. I'm ensuring financial matters are properly reviewed. My mother's voice turned cold. You've always been vindictive. An hour later, my father called. You need to fix Marcus's credit. This is family. We don't attack each other financially. We don't destroy million-dollar contracts either, Dad. That was an accident. Emma quoted Marcus verbatim. He told her I don't deserve success. That's deliberate. Even so, freezing their credit is extreme. Almost as extreme as teaching your child to sabotage business deals. Around noon, Marcus called again. His voice shook. Lisa, we got a letter from Continental Savings and Loan. They're calling our mortgage. We're current on payments. Are you? Yes. We've never missed a payment. They're exercising an acceleration clause. What does that mean? Full balance paid within 30 days. That's impossible. $240,000. We don't have that cash. Did you read the rest? Something about the loan being from First National and new owners having the right to restructure. Lisa, you know people in banking. Can you help? I could, but I'm not sure why I would. Silence. This is about last night. Yes. Lisa, I'm sorry. Emma shouldn't have burned your contract. I shouldn't have laughed. But this is our house. You can't take that because of one incident. One incident? Marcus, your daughter destroyed $1 million contract while quoting your instructions. You laughed. Everyone dismissed it. My daughter's months of work were treated like garbage. It was just paper. And this is just business. Surely you can get another mortgage, right? His voice cracked. We can't. Our credit is frozen. We can't apply anywhere. And we don't have the income to qualify anyway. Jennifer works part-time. My salary won't cover it. That sounds difficult. Please. Whatever you did, undo it. We'll replace your contract. Pay for a lawyer to recreate it. You can't replace it. The client moved on this morning. They don't want to recreate a burned contract. That opportunity is gone. We'll pay you the $1 million. With what money? You can't even cover your mortgage. I have a family. Emma needs stability. You can't do this. I didn't do anything. Continental made a business decision about their portfolio. These things happen in finance. This is revenge. No, this is consequences. My mother called that afternoon. Your brother is beside himself. Emma's crying. Jennifer is having panic attacks. Stop this. Stop what? Their mortgage and credit. Marcus says you're behind it. I don't work for Continental or any credit card companies. How could I be behind their decisions? Somehow you made this happen. Did I? Or did Marcus create instability that made financial institutions review his accounts? What does that mean? Actions have consequences. Emma destroyed $1 million contract. If someone teaches their child to sabotage business deals, what else might they do? Banks don't like instability. That evening, Sarah asked, "Are you really going to take their house?" "I haven't decided." Uncle Marcus sounded desperate. "Emma's scared they'll be homeless." Emma should have thought about consequences before burning your contract. She's 12. And old enough to understand that destroying important documents is wrong. More importantly, Marcus is old enough to know better. What's going to happen? Tomorrow they'll receive options. Pay the full balance in 30 days or negotiate new terms. What kind of terms? That depends on their willingness to acknowledge what happened and the severity of Emma's actions and Marcus's encouragement. You want accountability. Exactly. The next morning, my entire family was waiting in my parents' driveway when I arrived. Marcus, Jennifer, Emma, my parents, even my younger sister who'd driven in from 2 hours away. The tension was thick enough to cut. Marcus held up the letter I'd had delivered. His hand trembled slightly. "It says here the mortgage is held by L.M. Thompson Holdings. That's you, isn't it?" For Lisa Marie." "Yes. You own our mortgage." The realization seemed to physically hit him. "I own the company that owns your mortgage along with several hundred other residential mortgages that were part of the First National portfolio acquisition." Jennifer's face went pale. "How long have you owned it?" "Since the acquisition 18 months ago." "You've owned our mortgage for over a year and never told us?" Her voice rose with each word. Why would I? It's a business investment. The servicing company handles all the payments and communication. I rarely look at individual accounts unless there's a reason to. Until now, Marcus said bitterly. Until you made it personal, I corrected. When you taught your daughter to destroy my business contracts and mocked my work in front of the entire family, you made it very personal indeed. My father stepped forward, trying to take control. Lisa, this has gone far enough. Family doesn't do this to family. We settle our differences. We don't use financial weapons against each other. You're right, Dad. Family shouldn't do this. Family shouldn't destroy each other's work out of jealousy. Family shouldn't mock each other's achievements to make themselves feel bigger. Family shouldn't teach their children to sabotage each other's success because they can't handle someone else doing well. But that's exactly what happened 2 nights ago in your living room, and nobody except Sarah and I seem to care about any of it. Emma was crying now, her earlier smugness completely gone. I'm sorry, Aunt Lisa. I didn't know it was real. I didn't know it mattered so much. Daddy said you were just showing off. He said you always pretend to be more important than you are, that you make up stories about your business. And what do you think now, Emma? I kept my voice gentle but firm. I think Daddy was wrong. I think I was wrong. I'm really sorry. The tears were genuine this time. Marcus put his hand on his daughter's shoulder, his own eyes wet. Don't put this all on Emma. I was wrong. I admit it completely. I was jealous, Lisa. You've always been the successful one, and I've always felt like I was living in your shadow. When Emma burned that contract, there was this ugly part of me that was glad. I wanted to see you knocked down a bit, brought back to earth. That was petty and wrong and cruel. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you sorry for what happened, or sorry that there are consequences? I needed to know the difference. Both. I'm genuinely sorry for all of it. For teaching Emma the wrong values. For mocking your success. For not recognizing how hard you and Sarah work. Please, Lisa. We'll do whatever you want. We'll apologize publicly. We'll pay for Sarah's lost commission on the Henderson account. We'll explain to Emma in detail exactly why what she did was wrong and what it cost. Just please don't take our house. Please don't make my daughter homeless because of my mistakes. I looked at Sarah. She gave me a small nod of approval. The letter outlines your options in detail, I said. You can pay the full balance within 30 days if you can secure the funds. Or you can accept modified terms. The modified terms include a formal written apology to Sarah for the destroyed contract, a realistic payment plan for her lost commission on the Henderson account, and mandatory financial counseling sessions for Emma about the real-world consequences of property destruction and business sabotage. Jennifer wiped her eyes, mascara running down her cheeks. We accept. Whatever the terms are, whatever you need, we accept. We'll do all of it. There's one more condition, I said. Marcus, you're going to call the Henderson Group yourself. You're going to explain that your daughter destroyed their contract in a moment of poor judgment, and you're going to ask them to reconsider working with Sarah. You're going to personally vouch for her professionalism, her competence, and her expertise. You're going to use whatever business connections you have to make this happen. They already hired someone else, Marcus said weakly. Then you'll convince them to hire Sarah too, for a different project, for additional consulting work. Use whatever leverage you have in your industry. Make it happen, Marcus. Prove that you actually respect what we do. What if I can't? His voice was barely a whisper. Then the original terms stand. Full payment in 30 days, or foreclosure proceedings begin on day 31. Marcus nodded slowly, understanding the weight of what I was asking. I'll make it happen. I swear I will. I'll call every contact I have. I'll make this right. My mother looked absolutely shocked. You're really going to make them do all this? This seems excessive, Lisa. Yes, I'm really going to make them do all this. Because Emma needs to learn that actions have real consequences. Marcus needs to learn that tearing people down doesn't make him bigger or more successful. And all of you need to understand once and for all that my success isn't pretend. It's real. Sarah's success is real. Our work matters. And neither of us will ever again tolerate being treated like our accomplishments don't matter or can be dismissed as fantasy. 3 weeks later, Marcus called. I got Sarah a meeting with Henderson. They're considering her for a different project. A $600,000 contract. I told them she's the best in the business. Thank you, Marcus. I mean it, Lisa. She's good. I was wrong to dismiss that. I was wrong about a lot of things. I know. Are we okay? As family. We're getting there. Keep working on it. Emma sent Sarah a handwritten letter apologizing and explaining what she'd learned in her financial counseling sessions. Sarah framed it and hung it in her office. My parents still don't fully understand what happened, but they're more careful now about dismissing my work. My mother actually asked about my business last week. Real questions, not dismissive ones. As for the mortgage, I modified the terms as promised. Marcus and Jennifer make their payments on time now. They understand what's at stake. And every time Emma visits, she asks Sarah about her latest contracts. Real interest, not mockery. Sometimes people need to lose everything to understand what really matters. Sometimes family needs consequences to learn respect.